begin our look at your Gotham sports this Friday morning out at the Meadowlands, where the New York Jets started their preseason schedule off on a nice note Thursday night, topping former running back Chris Ivory and the Jacksonville Jaguars 17-13. Ivory got in the end zone early, but the Jets recovered behind Ryan Fitzpatrick in the first couple of series, and even backup Geno Smith, who performed well off the bench. We go inside the locker room for more. Some positive drawbacks from the first game?
Of course, we won the game, and we didn't have a lot of penalties, and that's what Coach, just been speaking about. We have to keep our penalties low, and we can win games like that. And we're off to the right direction.
We always have to have other guys step up, and Quincy got more confidence as the year went on last year, and it's definitely showing this year with just the way he's catching the ball, the way he's running his routes, kind of the understanding that he has of the game. All that stuff has grown, and so it was good to see him get a couple today.
I got to make sure that I keep my head on straight, and I'm still working like I have been in practice, and hopefully I can keep making these plays.
Obviously, had a nice touchdown. Was it interesting to have the first game be against your former team?
I mean, it just so happened to be. I mean, it's not. Like for me, it's just a team, another team in front of us. It's a sport where we're competing. You have to go out and try to be the better team.
In addition to Fitz and Smith taking snaps under center, Bryce Petty also saw action at quarterback for Gang Green. However, rookie Christian Hackenberg rode the pine in his NFL preseason debut. Cornerback Darrell Revis was in uniform but did not play. The Jets have been taking it easy on Revis, who is coming off wrist surgery. Up next, the Jets will be in Washington to face the Redskins on Friday, while the New York Giants begin their preseason slate tonight at MetLife Stadium against the Miami Dolphins. That game kicks at 7 p.m. The Giants and Jets will face each other in 2 weeks as the preseason winds down. That will be a Jet home game. Giant fans should look out for safety Darian Thompson tonight. The third-round pick from Boise State has vaulted to the starting spot on the depth chart. G-Men new head coach Ben McAdoo plans to play veterans about 15 snaps in the preseason opener before giving up playing time to the backups tonight. Back here in the Bronx, the New York Yankees return to the stadium to begin a homestand that will include a celebration reunion Saturday for the 1996 World Championship team. Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, and Mariano Rivera headline the returners. Crazy to believe it's been 20 years. Rivera will also get some Monument Park love in a dedication plaque ceremony on Sunday. Busy weekend for the Yankees, and it starts tonight at the big ballpark in the Bronx, where the Bombers will say goodbye to Alex Rodriguez, as a player at least. A-Rod and the Yanks came to an agreement last Sunday that allowed Alex to play one more week in the bigs with the Pinstripers before moving into the front office as an advisor. The news comes on the heels of Mark Teixeira's retirement. It's been a very busy month for the Bronx Bombers, to say the least. The Alex story, like his entire career, has been very complicated as well. Reportedly, he asked manager Joe Girardi to play third base tonight with CC Sabathia on the mound, and Joe declined. A-Rod, who started Thursday night in the cleanup spot at DH in the road finale at Boston, will likely bat fourth and DH tonight in the Bronx, weather permitting. Rain could spoil A-Rod's final game as a Yankee and perhaps the festivities for the Pinstripers that they have planned for the weekend, but let's hope not. For more info, visit Yankees.com. The youth movement is in full effect for the Yanks, who saw catching prospect Gary Sanchez collect his first career home run in Boston. The Bombers are 58 and 56, 3.5 out of the wild card, and still hanging around in the playoff hunt. I may have to abandon my postseason dreams for the Yanks and Mets, though. More on the Amazons in just a moment. The Yankees will face Tampa Bay this weekend. Chris Archer is on the mound tonight. He has very good career numbers against A-Rod and the Yanks, but Alex does have 2 hits against Archer, and both of them are home runs. Despite all that has gone on of late, I think he homers in his last game as a Yankee. Meanwhile, the Mets are reeling. The Amazons were swept by lowly Arizona this week at Citi Field. Manager Terry Collins went on a lengthy rant after the Mets dropped to 500 and 3 games back in the National League wildcard race. The Yankees have a better record than the defending NL champion Mets, who have been plagued by injury. Not much to smile about in Flushing this week, aside from the promotion of one Bronx boy who realized his major league dreams. More on TJ Rivera's promotion to the bigs in the C-list. Stay tuned. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Thus far, the Rio Olympics, from an American perspective, has been highlighted by the dominance of the women's gymnastics team, swimmer Michael Phelps, and of course, plenty of attention on the men's hoops team, which avoided a near upset from Australia this week. Phelps has added 4 gold medals during this Olympic Games, taking the latest in Thursday's 200-meter individual medley final. He will compete in his final individual race tonight, going for his 4th career gold in the 100-meter butterfly. As for the USA men's basketball team, they also returned to action Friday night to face Serbia. Carmelo Anthony and the U.S. squad should have a much easier time against Serbia. Other notables today include the U.S. women's soccer team squaring off against Sweden in the quarterfinals. The U.S. is tops with 38 medals, including 16 golds. China is right behind with 30 medals overall. In NBA news, LeBron James is reportedly staying in Cleveland on a record 3-year, $100 million contract to stay with the reigning world champion Cavs. Pays to be a world champ. The new-look New York Knicks will get to see the $100 million man in his first appearance. As such, the Knicks will face the Cavs on opening night in Cleveland. That's October 25th. The Knicks home opener is slated for October 29th versus Memphis. The NBA schedule, which was released Thursday, also has the Knicks playing Boston at noon on Christmas Day at Madison Square Garden. The Brooklyn Nets will open on October 26th at Boston and return home on the 28th to face Indiana. They too have a rough start to their NBA schedule. On the ice, NHL legend Patrick Roy stepped down as coach and vice president of hockey operations for the Colorado Avalanche. The Hall of Fame goaltender spent the past 3 seasons in both roles and cited differences with the organization as to why he's leaving the positions. No games tonight for NYCFC and the Red Bulls, but the two will be back in action Saturday. NYCFC is in Colorado. The Red Bulls are home for Montreal Saturday night in New Jersey. The Chicago Cubs are heating up in baseball. The Cubbies have won 10 straight, including Thursday night's walk-off win in the 11th inning. Former Jet QB Mark Sanchez looks like the starter in Denver for the world champion Broncos. Sanchez threw for 99 yards and a touchdown as the Broncos bested the Chicago Bears 22-0 in Denver Thursday night. Brett Favre headlined the Pro Football Hall of Fame class last weekend in Canton, Ohio, but the cancellation of the Hall of Fame game due to field issues may have stole some of the thunder from the weekend. Fans were pretty ticked about it, but the Hall has refunded the tickets. And with the summer drawing to a close, the Hoops in the Sun Roundball Classic hosted its championship game this past Sunday at Orchard Beach. DDN Sean Bell prevailed over the BK Stompers in the final. For more, visit hoopsinthesun.net. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list to welcome TJ Rivera to the Major Leagues. Bronx native TJ Rivera has realized his major league dream. We go inside the Mets locker room for more. What did it mean for you to have your high school coach here and also your family? Just a special moment for you.
Oh, great! I felt great. Because they've been with me from the beginning. When I was playing in high school and trying to learn the game and learn the little things about the game. And obviously my family, they've been with me forever. They've always had my back and they've always pushed me to be great and try to be here. So. All the credit goes to them.
When you were coaching TJ, did it dawn on you that he might have a chance to make the majors?
Well, you know what? I always knew he was that kind of special player. TJ was always different in a way. He always made his team better, but yet his work ethic was incredible. And then once he left high school, I knew he was going to do something special. I didn't think the major leagues, but I was always worried about my kids with college. And I knew he was going to do something special in college, and yet he did. And then this is where he's at now.
What does it mean to you to be able to represent the Bronx and to kind of take it to that level?
I'm really proud to represent that area. Growing up there was great. It was a great experience. You learn a lot growing up in the BronxNet area or anywhere in the Bronx, I'm sure. And I had great mentors like Del Jocko. Miss him a lot. He's a great guy. He told me so many things. I could just remember, days being outside our building, playing wiffle ball, and we just started talking baseball. And he's always been there. He was always there for me. And I do miss him a lot. I was thankful his son was here today, Danny. So that was cool.
Despite the loss Wednesday night, that was a special night for TJ in Queens and a special night for many in the Bronx. I umpired several of TJ's youth games many years ago in the Throgs Neck Little League. It was great to see him again, and he's truly persevered, hanging around the minors and playing great, just waiting for his chance to play in the show. He was surrounded by friends and family Wednesday night and followed his debut with another hit off the bench Thursday. The late great Jocko Torres, who was a coach and umpire at the BronxNet Little League, said TJ Rivera would be a major leaguer someday. And that's saying an awful lot because kids from the Northeast don't usually have the same success rate for the bigs as youngsters growing up in warmer weather climates like the South and from out west. But TJ is Bronx strong. Congrats to TJ Rivera and his family. He's a lifetime 300 hitter in the minors, and hopefully he can provide the spark that the Mets are most surely lacking right now. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C. Stay with us. More coming up after this.